Alex Baldwin officially charged for murder. That is us today on the Reality Rejects podcast. My name is Jacob.
I'm Donadio.
I'm Branden.
What was that? Well, you were very slow on that. Your energy? Are you sleeping on us today? People are dying out here, man.
Who's dying?
Well, Alex Baldwin fatally shot and killed his cinematographer on the film set Rust. This happened a long time ago, by the way. This was not recent. At this point,
It was last year, right?
It was about last year.
Yeah, wait, I thought I heard
last
about
year.
that a while ago.
This is an old story, but nothing really happened. It kind of just died out. No one really talked about it for a really long time. And then finally, officially, he's been charged with involuntary manslaughter, which is a pretty serious
Crime.
crime.
I thought it wasn't his fault.
I don't know. I mean, he did pull the trigger and shoot her. The gun should have been empty.
Right.
The gun should have been empty. I think everyone knows there should have been no live ammunition in the gun that he was pointing at.
Also, wait, was part of his scene that he had to pull the trigger? Was that part of it?
Definitely.
So then, how is that his fault if he didn't know it was?
Well, it's kind of tricky because he's not just an actor in the film; he's also
He
a
was
producer.
Mm.
He's also a producer, so I mean, he has responsibility on the set. I know that there was a props director or a props person that was supposed to handle the guns.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously they failed at their job because the cinematographer was
they
unfortunately shot.
In trouble too?
Yeah, she's also been charged.
Okay.
So, I mean, the big story is Alex Baldwin because he's a celebrity. He's also, he was producer on the film of Rust. So, it's kind of one of those tricky situations where it's yeah, he was acting and it shouldn't have been his responsibility, but at what point is he not,
Reliable.
at what point is he not responsible for that situation? I mean, if your money's involved with the movie, I mean, how production and set goes is also your responsibility.
Now, is he facing jail time?
I don't know what comes from involuntary manslaughter because it's involuntary manslaughter.
Okay. Branden being dumb. What does that mean?
Well, okay. So I was talking about this the other day about the difference between third-degree murder, manslaughter. A lot of it's intention based. If you're calculating to kill somebody versus accidentally.
First degree, second degree, third degree.
Right. There's all different types of degrees, and then there's manslaughter, which is you kill somebody and then it really wasn't intentional.
Right.
But you're still responsible. It's manslaughter is usually if you do an act that you know you're not supposed to be doing and it gets someone killed. That's manslaughter. This is involuntary manslaughter, which I think removes the not doing something you're not supposed to, and you're you were doing something and it killed somebody. Mm-hmm. You didn't mean to, though. It's involuntary. You didn't mean to kill the cinematographer.
So is that a degree of manslaughter, how Branden said, first, second, third?
I don't know if manslaughter has degrees, but it's a charge.
Right.
It's a thing. It is obviously something that he's going to get in trouble for.
So, what made it official? They were investigating.
They've been investigating for the whole year. They've been investigating this shit since it happened.
Right.
I mean, the story was huge.
How many people died?
Just one. The cinematographer was shot, but the director was also shot.
Wait,
Director survived. He's also not pressing charges, nor is he being held accountable.
So wait, what about that person who's in charge of the guns?
So she's in trouble. She also is in trouble. The prop director for Rust, whose name I don't know their name, but yeah, she's also in trouble. She's also getting charged with manslaughter.
The same charges or different charges?
She says that when she found live rounds, Helena, her name is Helena. The charges are different. She's just also getting charged. Okay. Oh, thank you. Also, by the way, in case you didn't notice, our setup is a little bit different today, and that's because we have Ginger Jacob acting as our producer behind the scenes. Jake, say something loud, hello.
No.
All right, see, look at that. This guy's pretty funny.
Wait, so Ginger Jacob's not here?
What?
So he's not here?
No, he's here.
But he said no.
No, he's being silly.
Okay.
He's being silly.
Okay.
Get with it, man. Come on. The brain cells, get them working.
Stupid.
So Helena Hutchins was the cinematographer that was killed on the set of Rust. She was capped, which is awful.
Wait, that was the one who was killed or the one?
That was the one who was killed.
Okay.
Helena was the one who was... So Armor Hannah Reed was the one that was overseeing the gun props.
And what did she have to say about all this? How did this happen? What was the cause?
There was obviously... So it's funny you asked that because, Wild West City? There's a place in New Jersey called Wild West City. It's kind of like an amusement park that takes you back in time to the Wild West. a few years ago, years ago, at this point, probably like 15 years, same thing happened. They were doing like a fake show in the Wild West. The train was getting robbed or something, and the guy shot the gun, and he did. He shot, there was like a fragment inside the prop gun, and it ended up hitting one of the actors. They didn't die, but they were very, very badly wounded.
Didn't that happen to Branden Lee?
Branden Lee was also killed in the set of, The Crow. Yes.
Those people must have been like...
Yeah.
It happened to Bruce Lee, too.
No, Bruce Lee... That's not how Bruce Lee died.
Okay.
That's not how Bruce Lee died. No, Branden Lee died from a gunshot wound on a film set. This happens because there's no such thing as like a fake gun on set. Most of them are like filled with blanks or whatever, but you pull the trigger, when the blank goes off, if your barrel's not clean, whatever is in that gun is flying. You know what I mean? Which is where the prop department comes in charge. Like, that is their responsibility to make sure the guns are clean.
Clean, right?
Right. But the whole Russ situation isn't just that, like, it was a fragment that was in the gun that no one noticed. This was a live round of ammunition that was inside the gun that shot the cinematographer.
Wouldn't they know?
Right. That's the problem here. How the fuck did that happen?
Right.
How was a fake gun how was a bullet inside of this prop gun on a film set?
So wait, it was actually a fake gun, but
No,
there
it
was...
It was a real gun.
It was a real gun.
It's a real gun used on a film set. Like, if you see a movie with a movie set with a gun in it, that's probably once a real gun. It probably is a gun. It's filled with blanks. They're not supposed to,
Yeah.
They go bang bang, but they don't go boom boom. There's a difference. Boom boom and bang bang. Big difference. Just wanted to make sure you guys knew that there is a difference between those two things.
Which one's lethal?
I think it's the boom
Bang,
boom.
bang. Oh, okay.
No, bang bang goes with the blanks.
Okay.
Boom boom.
Boom, boom. Okay.
We'll make a song about it. We'll make it all clear for you. Okay. The bang bang.
Like a
boom,
children's song.
I feel like when it comes to film sets, I don't know what the problem has been for the past few years, because even stunt doubles have been dying on film sets a lot.
Really?
Yeah, Deadpool 2, stunt double, motorcycle accident, boom, dead.
Like in
Really?
the movie or like on the...
I mean, it shut down production. It didn't stay in the film.
But I don't...
Well, yeah.
Did people talk about it? I don't
It was big, but also like it wasn't a celebrity that died.
So they didn't really.
So it was kind of like brushed under the table, which sucks. It was obviously traumatic for everyone on set.
Don't like major film movie.
Yeah.
Don't they have like unions and shit?
Yeah. There's unionization for film sets.
So
Actually,
like,
I didn't know that.
So shouldn't like things be more?
Dude, you're exactly right. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know why situations like these continue to happen. I feel like after the 90s when The Crow came out and Branden Lee was murdered on film set, not on purpose, but he died. He was shot by a prop gun. I don't know how that wasn't a wake-up call for Hollywood.
Right.
I mean, not only was he like a huge star, he was the son of one of the biggest stars in the world. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he just got killed on a film set.
So you're missing a lot of things with the Alex Baldwin situation.
Okay, what else? What are we missing?
So one of them being is this is not a lot of union people on the set.
There was not union people on set.
There are union. It's a combination of union and not union people on set. They
Okay.
decided to save money, so a lot of these people are not union. A lot of the union people walked off the set.
Whoa!
Okay.
Whoa!
I did not know
So
that.
yes, because for apparently safety issues. The other thing is this armor has a history of safety.
So I have heard that,
Yeah.
and I have heard that she's had issues in the past.
Who?
Wait, really?
The girl whose name Hannah. Hannah's
believe
had,
so.
Yeah, she's had issues in the past. Yeah, she's had mishaps in the past on film sets.
Like what happened?
Well, I don't have those examples pulled
I
up
do
right
have
now.
the examples.
You do?
I do know the
Cool,
examples.
Jake.
So she was on a Nick Cage set, and she fired a gun. So when there's you have to shoot it to get the bullets out.
Yeah.
She fired the gun really close to Nick Cage's head. Nick Cage screamed at her, as one
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
And, I'm pretty sure she got fired from that set.
How did she get rehired?
So
Hollywood. What the fuck, man?
So going back to, it saved money. A lot of people were not union. A lot of people would not be in the union because they're not qualified.
Which is another reason why Alec Baldwin's kind of responsible here, because he was a producer on set. It's his money.
So he is the one who hired her?
That's not necessarily what I'm saying, and I don't know that. I'm just saying that he's financially invested in this movie and its production, and whatever's going on set is a part. It should be his job to be on top of that stuff.
So another thing about I don't believe he's actually has money involved as a producer. So they often give producer credits to actors to pay them less.
Really?
Or like just like, oh, I'm a producer on this movie. That's like it's like a status thing.
Did he not? Is it out there that he didn't put money in? Because when I see producer, I see that this is a financial investment.
So from what I've heard, he is not. It's just one of those like in name only producer credits. But the thing about being when you get the in name only credit,
you still have the responsibility.
You still have the responsibility.
Right.
The other thing is that you missed. So on the set, they were plinking, which means you use live ammo and you shoot glass cans, which should not be. There should not be any live ammo on the set, but there was live ammo on the sets other day.
Interesting.
Why would they have that?
Well, to shoot the glass.
Okay.
To shoot the glass rounds.
So wouldn't they have rubber bullets? I would think they would have rubber bullets.
No, I mean that's not going to break glass. Oh. I mean it might, but I think that for those specific that would be on a closed film set. Okay. Like if you're going to shoot live rounds, which has happened in movie sets, like that has happened, but it's got to be in a controlled environment. You do not want to mix your live rounds anywhere near your prop round.
You think you would check before they start shooting. Like, hey, maybe we should check. Is there anything in this?
That's the thing about the prop this girl named Hannah, the gun specialist, the on set.
Clearly not a specialist. If this is
her multiple issues.
Oh yeah, the other day we were shooting.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine she capped Nick Cage?
Do you know the whole story about what happened on the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to go over that?
You want me to go over the entire story? I mean, for those of you who don't know, they were in the middle of filming a scene in which Nick Cage was aiming his gun at the camera. He pulled the trigger. The gun went off.
Alex Baldwin.
Who did I say?
Nick Cage.
I said Nick Cage. He canceled me. Alex Baldwin shot the gun, and it struck both the cinematographer and the director. Cinematographer was fatally hit. Director was, of course, wounded, but he survived. I don't know if the injuries were minor, but he survived. I also saw here that he's not pressing charges. He's not even held responsible.
So why is he getting in trouble? Because someone died.
Well, involuntary manslaughter. He killed the cinematographer, and he's a producer.
So what are these charges that he has to face? Like,
what is involuntary manslaughter?
Yeah, no. It's like, what is his charge? Like, is he going to jail? Is he like?
I think it's. I don't. Well, he's trying to fight it. He released a statement with him and his lawyers released a statement talking about. Well, first of all, it says here that he's hurt by the comments and how the audience has been reacting to the situation. But it says that the prosecutors will have difficult burden to cast Alec Baldwin as criminal, because they're trying to fight this. He obviously doesn't want to be charged.
But I thought he was already charged.
I think that the legal system is complicated. They say that he's been charged. I think that they've done a thorough investigation. They're like, we have concluded that what has happened here is involuntary manslaughter. I don't think he's gone to court, and I don't think they've processed him yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's facing charges.
He's facing charges. Right. Well, he's been charged. Someone has to walk up and say, here you go. But yeah, Helena Hutchins was killed by Alec Baldwin. That's voluntary manslaughter, and they're moving forward with that case.
So you missed a few key details about what happened on the set. So, one, the scene does not involve a gun that he was reversing. He should not have had the gun.
He shouldn't have the gun? To my knowledge,
the armor was not around.
On set?
I don't know if it's not on set, but there's also I think it's a producer involved in this, who brought him the gun. The producer should not have brought the gun.
Wait, so this gun was brought from somewhere else, like outside?
So, that's one of the things I don't know where the gun came from.
Sure.
So, Alec Baldwin was there going to rehearse the scene. There wasn't a gun. Alec Baldwin asked for a gun for the scene. Just to hold it or something. I don't really know why. But so Alec Baldwin requested the gun. A producer who is not the armorer went and grabbed the gun and brought it to him. So then he was rehearsing the scene with the gun that did not have the gun.
Yeah.
And during he accidentally shot the cinematographer and director.
See, that's another because I've even theater acting. I've been on theater sets. I cannot touch anything that's not mine. I did a show where they had guns involved. No one else can touch the gun. The actor is barely allowed to touch the gun if we're not doing the show, and the gun doesn't have anything in it. But you can't you don't fuck around with your props.
I feel like that's different for a big movie and big actor like that.
But it should be more strict.
Right. But now, let me ask you this. If if another producer gave him the gun and wasn't supposed to, and it wasn't the gun person that controls the gun, why is she getting in trouble?
Why is the gun person not getting in trouble?
Why is she getting in trouble?
Well, it's the guns are her responsibility. There shouldn't have been a live round anywhere.
Right. But why is someone else touching something that
I feel like that's another reason why there was a huge investigation. From what Jake's telling me right now,
wouldn't that other producer get in trouble?
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. I don't know. Can they get in trouble? They didn't know there was a live round.
Yeah, they should have checked when they brought.
But again, they're still a producer.
It's not their job. It's not their job.
But as a producer, if Alex Baldwin is getting in trouble as a producer, yeah, he shot the gun. But everyone's saying he's a producer, he should be checking this.
Sure.
The second producer,
the one that handed him the gun,
and if he saw it, if he's a producer, he should be checking it because he's a producer.
No, it's not his job. I don't think so. I disagree. Because it's not like, first of all, totally irresponsible to touch something that is not your department,
right.
Especially on a film set.
Right.
$1 million going into this. Let people do their jobs. I don't think that can really be. I mean, that's as easy as like if we're on a film set and I just hand you something random that's a prop of yours. Like that should, in my head, I'm like, all right, this is your prop. Here you go. Right. I don't think the producer.
But he didn't need the gun at that time.
I mean, I feel like that's where Alec Baldwin comes in. He called that shot. I think the reason why Alec Baldwin's getting more in trouble because he's a producer is because he was a producer that shot her. You know what I mean? The producer that handed him the gun was literally just the middle guy.
There's also one other thing I want to consider in that. If he was handed this gun by someone else, gun safety 101 is the safety should be on when you are handing a gun to someone else. So was the safety on and then he took it off himself?
Well, he would have because you have to pull the blank. The blanks don't need to shoot.
Okay.
Like the blank is its own ammo cartridge inside the gun.
So that means he willingly took off the safety, didn't check if the gun was.
That's not his job. He should be able to trust his prop.
So Alec Baldwin, the actor, and everybody else on the set is not allowed to do that with the gun.
Right. That's not the department.
They're not allowed to check the bullets. They're not allowed to do anything besides what the armor says you can, which is usually just pull the trigger, or if the scene calls for it, you can reload or something like that. Because if he did open the gun, and he put it back together,
he could have put a bullet.
He could have put a bullet in there, and then the armor's response. The armor job is to make sure there's nothing in that gun that is going to hurt someone. Okay.
All right, that makes sense. Then.
Everyone's trying to fight this, including Hannah Reid, who is the armor on set. Currently, no charges have been. As of November 2021. Yeah, back when this first happened, there were no charges filed, but they were convinced that everything was sabotaged and that Hannah was framed. That was actually a big thing that they were trying to sabotage. Like someone put a bullet inside the gun.
Yeah, I heard that at first. That's what, honestly, that would have been believable that, someone sabotaged it because it's how would this go through all of this,
I would like to say that, but again, based on what Jake just said, because I didn't know this about Hannah Reid, that she was on a film set with Nick Cage and shot a gun near his head, and then got fired from that film set. She already has a track record for being incredibly irresponsible with her weapons. Now she's on a film set where that irresponsibility cost somebody their life.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a bad track record. If I was someone in the legal system, I'm like, well, what the fuck was this? Look what you did now.
Maybe that's why she's trying to fight this, but they're gonna be like, this happened before, so you were bad the first time. Now the second time, you let's say she lost her license or gun license, whatever it is.
She was in my opinion, she's responsible.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If anything, I think she should be held more responsible than him, because if he's not allowed to technically check the gun,
that's true.
Now knowing that, it's how is that his fault then? He's not allowed to check. He's just putting his trust in his team, and then...
That's so tricky. I think it's the problem is that because he was given the producer title, he has a different type of responsibility to the film set.
So does the other producer?
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so. I mean, that could have been anybody. I mean, we say it's a producer, but it literally could have just been any other... it could have been someone else on set. It might have been a producer. I don't even know. Jake, did you have a name of the guy that handed Alec Baldwin the gun? Do you know who that was? We're not...
Give me a second.
Yeah, no rush. We don't know... I don't know who that guy was. But based on what we understand, that person really isn't much of an equation. I mean, I feel like even if the guy didn't hand Alec Baldwin the gun, he probably would have just grabbed that same gun anyway, because that's the gun that he was told to shoot with. You know what I mean? I really think it boils down to the armor.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it's more her fault than his.
So it is David Halls, and he's an assistant director.
Assistant director.
Was identified as the man who handed the gun to Baldwin before the fatal shooting. And so I'm going to look into
So he's not
more.
a producer.
He's an assistant director. And he is hired for... when I remember reading about him, he was hired because he does things very cheap.
Okay.
And I can look into this more.
Interesting. Yeah, thanks, Jake. Assistant director, again, that's not really their responsibility.
Right.
I mean, the assistant director should be there to... He shouldn't have to worry about handing the gun to Alec Baldwin. Again, it's the chain of command.
Here's something interesting.
Okay.
Hollis was fired from his job as assistant director on the project Freedom's Path in 2019 when a gun went off and a sound crew member recoiled after hearing the shot.
This assistant director guy was fired.
Oh, wow.
Oh, fascinating.
Wait, so that's this, right?
No, different movie.
Different movie. Okay,
movie.
same
So
guy.
Interesting.
So-
2 people got in trouble with guns.
And now they've been hired.
This is the same. Yeah, this. Yeah. So
Same guy.
Yep.
So, I mean, again,
Wow.
which I think also boils down to why it's partially Alec Baldwin's responsibility. Sure, maybe he's just given title of producer. Maybe. Either way, that is a title of responsibility. Now he has an entire crew on his team that's like unreliable.
With guns.
So here's something further about Hall is that was not his first complaint. That same year, prop worker and pyrotechnician Maggie Gall complained to executive producer while working on Into the Dark that Halls disregarded safety protocols regularly to weaponry and that he tried to continue shooting after another pyrotechnician had lost consciousness on set, the Associated Press reported.
See, the more we dig into this, the more, again, there's a responsibility that Alec Baldwin has as a producer.
So he's the one who hired these people?
I mean, we don't know. But as a producer, like, producers are above directors.
Okay.
Like, directors are the artists. They're the ones that are, like, putting the film together. And very often you might find that a director is also a producer. But that's not always the case, especially in Hollywood. In Hollywood, you hired the entire crew. But the producers are the ones that are funding the entire crew. That's their job. They're the money people.
Okay.
You know, they're the ones that find the location and deal with it and pay for it. And they're the ones that find the team and pay for it. So to be the one that's a part of this team or named as someone who's part of this team who is not only one of the highest paid people on this production because he's also a lead actor, that's a responsibility. It's a tricky conversation, but that's a responsibility.
Yeah. Oh God, that honestly, it just kind of boils down to like the laws and the pretty much like the rules of everything that goes along with those positions, like where everyone's at, like how everything was brought in.
Would a union rep be on scene?
Union rep?
Yeah.
I don't know. It obviously wasn't.
Because I know, like obviously, like in my field, like when there's a union company, a person that works for the company and works for union has to be working on set. On set, yeah.
And as Jake mentioned before, the girl Hannah, the armorer, wasn't around during this shot. Like she wasn't there.
So
Someone
shouldn't she be having the guns locked away or whatever, hidden, whatever?
At least responsible for them. She should know where they are.
Right.
She should know what's going on with them. And again, you need to discharge your gun before using it. I can understand where the idea of sabotage came from, but if they're already if in the production they're using live rounds for shooting glass in a scene or whatever, right? Somewhere that's controlled in a specific environment, it shouldn't be mixed.
So they weren't shooting glass as part of the movie. They were shooting glass for fun, not during the movie.
Oh my God.
And it develops. Mm-hmm.
So this is seeming less and less like sabotage as time goes on. It literally just seems like irresponsibility.
It's totally irresponsibility.
These sabotage claims is not so.
From what I see, it was she claimed that it was sabotage because there was no live ammunition inside the prop guns.
So the conspiracy of sabotage, to my knowledge, comes from Alec Baldwin is a pretty democratic person.
Right.
He's known for his impression of Trump on SNL.
He does do that.
And so he's also very vocal on Twitter about how being, anti-Republican, pro-Democrat.
Yes, he is.
So a lot of the conspiracy theories come from a Republican person did this to make Alec Baldwin look bad as a murderer.
That's funny. I doubt it. I mean, from someone who's not in Hollywood, I say I doubt it. I always hear stuff like this all the time, about like, there's a lot of conspiracy. I feel like that's a little out there. For me, it feels out there.
Oh, no, I'm with you on that.
Republicans are sabotaging my movie sets because I have specific beliefs. It doesn't feel...
Alex Baldwin is a Republican?
Alex Baldwin's Democratic.
Okay.
Democratic.
So, honestly, yeah, it just seems like it's come down to irresponsibility. Like, at this point, it's just like, there's so many irresponsible people that are on this set.
Especially, like, you're shooting for fun.
Right.
On the set with guns. Like, that's...
Like, who did that? Do we know who did that? Like, who was shooting the gun for fun and why the armor?
Well, I'm assuming... so, Jake, do you know who was shooting the gun? Like, was it just crew? Or was the armor involved and confirmed?
I'm looking at that now.
Okay.
To my knowledge, there was other crew.
I can't even fathom that. That's insane.
Wait, other crew?
Why? First of all, how can you just fuck around with guns on a film set? Like, you're just shooting the guns to pass the time?
Right.
That's ridiculous. Go to a gun range.
Right.
Off of my movie set. Like, you're being paid. This is a job. Like, filmmaking is fun, but it's not, like, a party.
And I think most importantly, it's don't use the gun that is going to be used in the movie and point it at someone,
Jesus
It's like,
Christ.
that's like...
So it was an actual real gun. Like, you could use it...
Most guns, most film set guns, yeah. If you put a live round inside the gun, it will shoot a live round. Yeah, assume that there's no such thing as a fake gun on set. Like, even, like, when we were shooting, like, playing with ours, like, you remember how I was kind of, like, anal about, like, keep the guns pointed down?
Right.
I know they're fake. But we don't address the guns as fake on film sets. Right. Especially because we're using them for real, like, we're using them to look real, we're painting them black, so it's really hard to tell what's real and what's not. And when it comes to making movies, like, if you want something to look real, you need to use something real. You fill it with things that make it safe. I mean, but the same thing with, like, magic. Like, it never should be actually dangerous. It should have a sense of danger, but, like, I'm not actually taking my Avengers and putting them inside a city that's about to get nuked. You know what I mean? Like, that's not really happening.
Avengers was actually filmed in a crumbling city.
Right, exactly. Yeah. They really tried to nuke New York for this movie, and it got out of hand. It got crazy. RDJ was in it. He was really in that suit of armor. The military commandeered the Iron Man suit, by the way. They went too real with it. It's just like, it's fake. It all needs to be fake. It's all performative. The guns, when someone gets shot, no one's actually getting capped. Squibs. Like we did for Living Reanimator when you guys were filming that. Like, when we shoot Rob Zimmerman in the chest and the blood blows out his back, like, the gun had nothing in it. It wasn't even blanks. That was all in post-production. He pointed the gun, and then we had a squib burst out the back.
Oh, you guys have one of those?
Yeah, well, that's how we did that scene where the blood drips down the wall and stuff.
You didn't watch it.
You didn't see the movie?
Yes, I did.
Oh, no, he's just kidding. But, like, filmmaking needs to be safe. So it's just kind of like, it's kind of hard for me to fathom the idea that someone was fucking around with guns on set and then was like, all right, here you go. Mm-hmm. That's insane. That's insane to me.
That's just, there's like so many factors now that just makes it so many people are being irresponsible at this point that, like, it seems like, I don't know. I want to, like, say it's the armorer's fault, but, like, at the same time, Alex Baldwin is the one who, like, kind of funded, like, all these people and, like, kind of, did he bring them aboard? Is that what happened? Like, he's the one who brought them aboard?
So a veteran producer has said there was no actual producers on set.
On set that day, besides Alex Baldwin, who is titled as producer.
Yes. So there was, like, to my knowledge, there's not, like, an actual producer who would actually be responsible for all this stuff.
Which is why it falls to Alec Baldwin. If he's the only active producer on set, title or not, title responsibility, right? Director is responsible for the production, like his actors and stuff. And he's not he's not invested like a producer. It's a different ranking.
It's kind of like when we, like, worked at the theater and we're like, when all the managers are bullshitting and we're the crew leads on the floor and fucking something happened, it's your fucking fault.
Right.
It's
right.
The same thing.
Same exact thing. It's all chain of command, dude.
3 crew members who were present at the Bonanza Creek Ranch on Saturday said they were particularly concerned about 2 accidental prop gun discharges. Also, members of the crew have already walked camera
Walked
crew had
out.
already walked out at this point
Walked out.
for safety conditions.
Fuck, dude.
This was
Before.
beforehand?
This
Okay.
movie is apparently, by the way, they're going to continue filming. For a really long time, I heard a rumor that they were just like fuck this movie, like we're done. They're going to finish the film.
What film is this, by the way?
It's called Rust.
So wait,
The cinematographer's husband is now an acting producer on set. From what I read before, it just like it baffles me.
now is Alec Baldwin still going to be in the movie?
I mean, they shot a lot of that movie already.
So
He's actually going to be in the movie.
so he's still walking around, right?
He's a free man.
Okay.
He's a free man. No, they haven't arrested him. I don't think they're going to arrest him for involuntary manslaughter. I don't think he's going to jail.
So is it just charges like money or
I
something?
probably.
Do you think he's going to get blacklisted?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. Hollywood's so tricky. The Illuminati is so hard to understand.
So do you think the lady will get blacklisted?
The armorer, she's done.
Okay.
She's definitely done in Hollywood.
She was only ever on one other movie, and that was the Nick Cage one.
Oh, so
done.
literally all of her
She's
experiences
done.
have
She's
been
done.
negative.
You're saying that like in the film industry, she shot that Nick Cage movie. That was her first other film credit besides Rust.
Correct.
And now she's done. She's got to be. There's no way they're gonna hire her again.
Her dad is a very famous armorer.
Oh my god.
Armor.
Well, that doesn't. I don't know if that. I mean, like,
It don't matter.
I don't know if that's as big of like. When it comes to people who are gonna watch the movie, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, I heard this armorer's worked on this
It'd be
movie."
different.
I didn't even know there was armorers on movies.
Yeah, there's. I mean,
Is that even in the credits?
Yeah,
everyone.
everything's in the credits.
Even
Dude,
the person that brought fucking Dunkin' Donuts.
dude, if you breathe diagonally on the film set, you're
Diagonally?
in there, dude.
No.
What do you mean no?
Gerhardt has never been credited on any movie.
That's swear to God.
Yeah, Gerhardt's worked in like a lot of things.
What has Gerhard worked on?
Yeah.
Things Seen and Heard on Netflix.
Okay, I know
Law
that he
and
did that
Order.
cop show, Law and Order. Was it Law and Order that he
I
did
think he
recently?
did Law and Order.
He didn't get credited on Law and Order?
No, you have to do a certain amount of things. So like day workers usually aren't credited.
That's insane. That's criminal.
Wait, I thought even if people are like walking down the street, like for a scene,
extra?
extra, isn't that?
Extras get credits. Extras get credits. They're actors. That's when like you get like the extras like thing, and it's just like a million names and like a big block.
it's
all the named actors get like their own little space, and it's
someone's
just
not-
like all the
if
names.
someone's on scene and they were like in the movie and they're not on there, can this?
I don't know. I mean, probably. I mean, are you getting paid and you're uncredited? I mean, it's kind of like it's working on a project that you're invested in and then not getting any credit for. You can probably fight that. I've never heard anything about that, but you can probably fight that. What if they take Hannah out of the film's credits?
Who's Hannah?
Hannah Reed, the armorer.
I thought Hannah from like 13 Reasons Why.
Why'd your brain go there?
Where?
13 Reasons Why? Branden, also, Hannah Baker didn't actually kill herself. Well, Hannah Baker did, but the actress, the
actor was in not 13. Well, yeah, Endgame.
No, she wasn't. She got cut out.
Cut
so
out.
was she even ever there?
Cut out.
Wait, what?
Oh!
Suicide
I'm confused. Where did this? What?
He made a suicide joke.
joke. Suicide is never the answer.
Never, Donadio.
Self-harm is never the answer either.
I don't know. But the whole thing I also want to kind of just dive into is like this is like people are getting hurt on film sets often. Like they should be almost next to none. What are you little smiling over there with your fucking porn stash? What are you laughing about? What's so funny?
God, I don't like the mustache at all.
You don't like his mustache?
I can't stand it.
What do you mean? Look at this.
He's just shaving. And next,
Look
he's
at-
shaving the
look at
face.
this.
Like
he
he's
can twirl it. Can you twirl yours?
No.
That's right. You're just a hater. Why don't you?
He's been growing his longer than mine.
What were you laughing about? What were you laughing about, bitch? I want to hear it.
Okay.
Share with the class.
I was just still thinking about Hannah Baker, like things actually happen.
The actress?
Don't kill herself.
They're like, wow, she's really method, dude. She's pulling a Shia LaBeouf on us. Shia LaBeouf, he like broke off like a chip of his tooth for the movie.
He's clean now. Good for him.
Is he? I don't keep up with him. I haven't talked to him in a little bit. Him and
No.
I are on talking terms.
What were you
After
saying though?
When it comes to like Hollywood film sets, people are getting injured often. Like this isn't but a lot of it gets brushed under the rug. Like I mentioned before, like there was a stunt double on the Deadpool 2 set who was killed in a motorcycle stunt. She was the stunt double for Domino, and she got into a motorcycle accident on set.
Domino, pizza company.
What?
The pizza company.
He really found his own joke that funny.
He really, look at this guy. I'm happy for you.
Who's Domino?
Domino's a character in the Deadpool movie. She's the one with the little like black eye, with white skin.
You know, I never watched Deadpool 2. I was supposed to, but I fell asleep during the movie. I fell asleep. Well, I was there. I was sitting in the theater, and I fell asleep as soon as the movie started.
Offended,
No. I was just really tired. It had nothing to do with.
I did watch Deadpool 2, the Christmas special.
Jesus Christ. Did we see that together? Yeah. Did we?
Yeah.
It was good. I actually didn't hate that. The PG-13 version of Deadpool, that wasn't bad. But no, I'm just saying that like on film sets, I'm a little confused on why there isn't more. I don't know what the more is because I'm not in Hollywood.
More what?
But just more security, more like safeties. More guarantees of safety.
There's got to be safety people, right?
I think it's more comes down to the union and people being there.
There is always a little bit of risk when it comes to being like a stunt performer on a film set. Like you're gonna be putting your job is to put yourself in a position so that the actor doesn't have to. But you're not putting yourself in a position of suicide. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if someone's gonna get lit on fire, they're gonna light you on fire safely. Mm-hmm. There are specialists that stand to the side that are ready to put you out if you're on fire.
Has the fire extinguisher.
Right, fire extinguishers. They ask you where you feel warm so they can continue to put you out. But like if they didn't have those things, they were just lighting people on fire, they'd be dying left and right. Like we have systems, but I don't know why people are still getting hurt and dying on film sets, especially when it comes to gun violence. Like this is ridiculous, Hollywood. Ridiculous. America, dude. Oh, the gun problems, man. It's just getting so bad. It's getting so bad.
No, wait. I want to know. So, like, during that motorcycle scene, like, how can they prevent that? Like, how did this mishap happen? Like, did they just, like, go back on the bike or something and, like, flipped onto them, like, broke their neck?
Well, according to the Hollywood Reporter, it was inadequate workplace setup. Which, again, it's a production issue. It wasn't like the stunt... The government investigators into the 2017 motorcycle stunt person death during the production of Deadpool 2 have concluded the fatality was due to an inadequate planning on set and not writer error. It was announced Wednesday. This was in 2017 when this incident happened, which means that the film production made a plan that was not good enough to keep this woman safe.
So, do you know what the stunt was?
Motorcycle stunt. It doesn't matter. She was on a motorcycle. Whatever it was, got her killed. Dangerous enough.
Now, why didn't people talk about this more? And why didn't Ryan Reynolds get blacklisted? He
didn't get blacklisted. It wasn't.
Backlash.
Because it wasn't his fault. He was like, I mean, I think the difference is like if Alec Baldwin is a producer on the film set and then someone else shot the gun and killed his cinematographer, I don't think the conversation would have nothing to do with Alec Baldwin. They would not be talking about it. In fact, this whole situation, I'm sure, I guarantee, no one will be talking about, right? Like this stunt set, this motorcycle accident that happened. This is an old story. This isn't like recent, but it's something that like I remember hearing a lot about for myself because I was really deep into the Deadpool. You know, I'm big in my comic book stuff, so I was hearing a lot about this because I wanted to keep up with it because I love my superhero movies. I love superheroes.
Nerd.
What geek? Watch your goddamn mouth, ho.
Potato.
No one says potato. No one says potato.
I gotta agree with Jacob on this.
No one says it. I knew this one Irish guy that said it, but he's Irish.
Okay.
Stop it. That's right. You got scooped, bitch. It was not a driver's error. It was a bad planning. It was a production issue. It was a production problem.
You think at this point, like with how I know that was how many? That's 6 years ago now, right?
2017.
Yeah, so 6 years ago.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, crazy to think about. And like I don't know. I feel like then like things have still been kind of like modernized to how it is now. I don't know if it was a lot different back then.
How do you mean modernized?
Like I feel like there's so many things we could do to add safety precautions.
Right.
There's like so much more technology we have now that could like make things look good on screen, but still also be safe for the actors and stunt doubles and stuff like that.
Right.
But I feel like they're not taking that precautions because of money and just because of how like much work it would take. Like actually, it all kind of boils down to money and like how much production would have to go in to make it look better, to make it more safe, and like I just feel like they're putting people's lives on the line,
I imagine how many hours they work, and like people are tired, and I'm sure they don't get as many breaks and shit.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like
those movies,
they're putting people's lives at risk, like in those senses, not always, but like they're like just for quality, and it's just like I don't know. That's what I feel like it comes down to. It's kind of like more of a money thing, trying to save money, trying to make production easier.
Cut costs.
Yeah, cut costs.
So the difference with this one versus like the Alec Baldwin versus the Deadpool thing is there's always been an inherent risk with the stunt performers, and like what you're saying, like CGI and stuff. But there's a reason why Mad Max Fury Road looks so good and why the Avengers looks the way the Avengers look. But I'm not saying the Avengers looks bad. But when you go side by side with Fury Road, it's like Fury Road does
dramatically different.
Yes.
Right. Practical always looks better.
So the difference is between the Deadpool thing is so it's unfortunate, but there is an inherent risk with all stunts.
Always.
Oh yeah,
So
of course.
There's always absolutely.
But with Alec Baldwin, there should not have been a risk at all. It's like if I accidentally shot you right now, that would be like, why was there a gun? Why was there a gun on the reality research?
Why is there a gun in the podcast?
Why is there a gun? So I just pulled up a list on Wikipedia of film set disasters, and they have a huge list. People, more than I was aware of. A lot of this gets swept under the rug. Just as a 2020, Street Outlaws, Fast as America, a 2022 film. I don't know this movie. I've never heard about this movie. Actor Ryan Fellows died in a car crash while participating in a race for the show. Car flipped over, crash, caught fire. The Indian 2. I don't know this movie, but he got resulting in death. During the shooting of the film, a crane carrying a heavy flashlight fell on set. Which is a huge thing. So like the light that Jake set up for us today. Imagine if this light was hanging on a giant rig and then dropped, and then fell on you.
Hot.
Sure.
Heavy.
Hot and heavy. Hot and heavy.
You're getting crushed.
Sounds like my Saturdays. You know, hot and heavy, dude. You gotta watch out for that shit. Let's go. You know what I mean? No Time to Die with Daniel Craig. All right. Well, so accidents happen. It's a film set.
Right.
That's fair. I'm not like on the Mission Impossible movie, Tom Cruise broke his ankle during a stunt. But
Jackie Chan too, doesn't
Jackie Chan hurts himself in every fight. That man is uninsurable.
I think he said he broke every bone in his body.
Yeah, probably. Well, I
don't think that's possible.
No, he broke his neck once.
Skull?
Yeah. Yeah, there's an old movie from like the
everything.
1970s he did, or he like was doing this tree stunt. He fell out of the tree and like shattered his skull and broke his neck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jackie Chan's broken like everything. There's a scene in this other movie where he's like sliding down a rope of like light bulbs and glass, and he like suffered third-degree burns and like cut his body up on the glass and he slid down it. Yeah, Jackie Chan's. Yeah, but he's different. He's built different. He was different. Not only is he a real man, but he was also a living cartoon for a while.
But also,
the Jackie Chan Show on Nickelodeon.
No.
You never watched Jackie Chan?
No.
It was great, dude. Great show. So good.
I know Mike Tyson Mystery Adventures.
That was a show?
Yeah.
was a show?
Never heard of it.
No.
I knew the Mike Tyson Knockout video game. Classic, absolutely classic. I'm just saying that like accidents happen, but the amount of people that have died on film sets, it's insane.
Now, let me ask you this: how many died the past year, like 2022?
So this list only goes up to the 2020s. I believe it breaks it down by.
There's a lot. Is that?
This is the 2010s.
Holy shit.
But this also involves injuries. It's not just on-set deaths.
See, I think injuries, shit happens.
Someone on the set of Deathly Hallows Part 2 during an aerial sequence became a paraplegic, one of the stunt doubles.
Is there any big movies that I would know? Or
besides Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2?
Oh, the Harry Potter.
That's what I was saying. Harry Potter,
he's a Deathly Hallows.
a stunt double. David Holmes suffered a serious spinal injury during the filming of an aerial sequence and was left as a paraplegic for the rest of his life.
What did it, like the line drop or something?
It says that he just fell to the ground following an explosion. That was part of a stunt.
Jackie Chan aired on The Kids WB with reruns running on Toon Disney's Jetix.
It was Disney.
And
Jetix.
Cartoon Network.
And Cartoon
It was
Network.
every network,
Except-
but the one you thought it was.
I thought it was on
That's a really
what was that Nickelodeon channel that showed like all the classic ones?
Nicktoons?
Yeah, I was thinking
Was it
Nicktoons.
Nicktoons?
Is Boomerang.
There's Teen Nick.
No, that's associated with Cartoon Network.
yeah.
there's a lot of injuries.
God, even facts right.
Even during the Avengers. Well, which is why I very much value. We're not interested in being the next Joe Rogan. No, none of this false information. We have Jake here to put us in our place. Even during the Avengers, while performing a 30-foot fall from a building, stuntman Jeremy Fitzgerald slammed into a pile of bricks and tore his chunk.
Wait, was that the Iron Man scene?
It
Iron Man scene.
Might have been during a 30-foot fall. The Avengers. I don't know who Jeremy Fitzgerald is. I don't know who that is.
Sounds kind of famous.
Jeremy Fitzgerald.
I know the last name.
Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I just know people with that name.
Yeah.
No, he's just a stunt double. He's still alive. He's actually going to be in the new Five Nights at Freddy's. Copy.
Wait,
that's the next Five Nights at Freddy's movie. What?
That's actually coming out? That's a thing?
Yeah, it's been confirmed.
What?
Very excited about that.
How long?
Matthew Lillard's going to be in it.
Who the hell is that?
Shaggy from the Scooby-Doo live action. There we go.
You watched that podcast with Fred talking about Scooby-Doo?
What about it?
It was just,
You're talking about Freddie Prinze Jr. was talking about it?
No.
Freddie Prinze Jr., the actor for Fred.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about Scooby-Doo too? Yeah. I did not see that, but what were you saying?
This is a little off topic, but you guys hear about Velma at all?
Yeah, of course.
The show?
Yeah.
Why is she black?
Shaggy's black.
Shaggy's black. She's Indian.
Okay.
It has gotten the worst reviews I think I've ever seen for a show, ever.
Because it's a character assassination. It's a straight up spit in the face to all the fans. I'm a big Scooby-Doo fan.
It is the worst reviewed cartoon on IMDb.
Yeah, I saw
of
that.
All time.
Yes, of all time. It's literally they completely change the characters. They make all of the characters completely unlikable. Velma is literally the opposite of what her character usually is. And then it's funny. The creator said it's oh yeah, I resonate with Velma. I see myself as her, so I put that into this cartoon. It's you literally made her the complete opposite of what she used to be.
Because the show was trying to do what the Harley Quinn show formula was perfect. It killed. Doesn't matter. The Harley Quinn show did the same exact thing. They took the Harley Quinn, turned her into a comedy, and
that was good.
They did really
well.
Really great writing. I am a huge boys. You know me. I fucking love Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo is literally one of my favorite franchises.
Love Scooby-Doo too.
You ever watch Mr. Inc?
Of course. Oh, so good. Beautiful. I want to watch the Velma show. I know I'm gonna hate it. I've hated every clip I've seen. I want to watch it because I want to know if it really is as bad as they say, which is pretty much what everyone has been doing. But yeah, no. I mean that the crime of this show is almost as severe as the crime on the set of Rust. It was a character murder of the character of Velma, just as Alex Baldwin murdered that cinematographer. Thank you.
Brought it all back.
What can I say?
I like it.
Thank you for watching The Reality Rejects. We are every Friday at 6. Comment below and let us know your thoughts on the Alec Baldwin situation. And also, I know this was a last-minute conversation, but tell us your thoughts about the show Velma. I'm going to watch it by the time we come on to our next episode, and I'm going to have my thoughts. I'm gonna have... Can we watch it together? Do you guys want to do a review episode of Velma?
That'd be fire.
We can do that.
God, I don't want to give that show views.
Yeah, that was my big thing. Is I didn't want to add because HBO Max released a thing where they were this is our highest viewage show in ever, and our highest
because it's so
it's on HBO Max. It was this is our highest reviewed cartoon viewed cartoon show ever. Original cartoon show, but they don't have any other original cartoon shows that are going on right now. So yeah, that's just bullshit.
That's fine.
I would love to hate watch the Velma show.
We'll do that.
I think that's where all their views are coming from, is to hate watch. And
oh yeah.
Apparently they confirmed a season 2, which is fucking stupid. Don't do it unless you're going to bring Scooby-Doo.
Don't have an opinion if you haven't watched it yet.
You're right. That's actually true. But I've watched enough of the commercials to know that I don't like what I've seen so far. No, I can say that. Because what I've seen so far...
It's like Jake when he was talking shit about other movies, and you were defending...
No. It's not the same. It's not the same at all. And don't do this now because I'm about to go to the outside.
Literally the same exact thing. It's literally word for word exactly what I said about Bohemian Rhapsody. It's word for word.
Oh.
No, it's not the same. I watched the credits and I didn't like what I've seen so far. I haven't watched the show yet. I haven't watched the show yet.
That's what I said about.
I haven't watched the show yet.
I
fucking hate your ass. Thank you for watching The Reality Rejects.
Look what
And
you've
as
done.
always, in case I do not see you guys, I hope you have a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. Bye, guys.